All line signals of channels are operating through connection right now. Father is now walking the surface of its earth. Very, very powerful. It came to me last night in a thunderstorm. He comes to me all the time. It's understanding his operation. Why is he here? Because he hardly is ever here, but he's here to understand what's happening. And then once you understand that through connections, you understand that he is everything through his birthing system. So he came to my eyes yesterday through interference, and he woke me up. And basically, it's extremely powerful thunderstorm that basically just changes everything through the atmosphere. It's like a rumble. It's like a tornado. It's like an earthquake. It's so powerful. It just wakes you up. It's so much light that comes in. So Father is now inside me fully and completely. All right. So 52 generations is here. We're coming into the full cycle, okay, of a new normal. Freedom is just around the corner now, guys. So Father came to me and basically told me that the center position is going through tractions of the earth position. And he told everybody to get ready because it's going to happen very soon. So timing is the essence to everything. Okay. Mother was also right beside him. So it's amazing how you don't see things, you hear things, and you become everything through form, right? So when I became the Son of God, first intelligence, you understand everything through Dolores Cannon is truth. Truth will set you free. But you understand I am the first wave. Okay? There's 3 waves plus 4. Rainbow children, that connection is the last. So I'm the first wave. Okay, so if you understand Dolores Cannon, you understand my legacy and what I'm trying to do to humanity. Okay, and this is why I became Son of God. First intelligent line signal to traction to anything in the universal core system. So Father is walking the earth right now through his voicing patterns. Okay, so he opened his mouth and it's like, it's like, it's incredible light that just came through me, my transmission, my body activation light system, electrical lights were going through my clouds and everything through connection. All my energetic waving systems were all cycling through position. It was so powerful, so powerful. And it's amazing because, you're energized, your lines, your communication, your heart just opens up. And I'm just expressing what's happening to me now through calculation. I've died, I've been reborn to the 10 central line systems. So I've died 10 times now. Okay, so he woke me up in all level connections. I had to get to 10 position of time, 12 within the atmosphere, 13 within the position. Okay, so I've died 10 times and lived again. So Father comes to me for a purpose. Mother comes to me for a reason, understanding everything through tractions of gravity positions of its earth and everything through force winning cycle of Father's space, the voicing of Father, the creation of Father, the evolution of Father, revelation of Father, the freedom of Father, the love of Father, the abundance of Father, the surrender of Father. Okay? The most powerful, powerful, powerful voice in the world. World on ascension levels of connection, your transmission and your communication signals. Okay? So I can't express it. It's in so many ways and forms. I woke up in so many levels, but you have to understand when something comes to you, it's not a dream. It wakes you up and you see your senses. You see, Father, and then he opens his mouth and then just, it's like a hum. Okay. And the hum is so powerful. It just opens up all your particle system. And there's so much love, so much resonance. It reveals everybody's veil. Okay. So freedom is in the justice of everything through connections. We're coming into a new normal. The full cycle, okay, is closing its gap. Okay. Which is really, really powerful. Okay. Coming from the angelics, coming from space, coming from everything through solar systems. Right. But when I woke up, man, it was incredible. It was thunder. It was raining all last night. See, he comes to me in thunder because you have to understand how powerful his voice is. So it's kind of like a blending system with rain and thunder and clouds. Now, if it was just a separation, it wasn't rain, it was just sun, it would just basically change the gravity position of the earth, and the vibration of humanity would just go. So that's what's happening right now with everybody. The vibrationals are going higher. The voicing channels are going higher. The commitment is going higher into your behavioral system. The moon is coming to a new traction of a new location position. The sun is coming into new perception of coloration to humanity's system. And the earth is going into the full cycle of its connection. Okay? So I'd like to thank all the subscribers and viewers and all that connection to TikTok, how we're going to so many platforms. I appreciate that. Thank you for all the supporters. I'm coming into Waving Cycle platforms. I'm going to come into pretty soon 1,000 followers so I can go live on TikTok. So please watch my lives as we come back into traction. It's amazing how our behavioral system is changing, especially from light workers, from empaths, or anything through those levels of witches or anything, that connection. It's all about your behavioral system coming into your own traction positions. And Father is walking the surface, okay, fully. Okay, it's extremely, extremely, extremely powerful time right now. Okay, and Mother is always walking beside him. So it's the gravity position of Mother Earth, the universal core, and everything through the seed, how you're connected in all ways and forms. Father is everything through connection that comes into atoms, molecular structure of light. But I'm telling you, it was incredible what I saw, the perception in my eyes. I saw electrical lights, and the sound barriers just woke me up. It's like, whoa, what just happened? It just explodes your heart on so many levels. So I've died and been reborn 10 times. 10 times. I think in position line communications, I understand my traction locations has to go to 12. Okay. So it's understanding that we are 12 on ourselves through a connection when we come into the body system, 7 within the body, 5 within the atmosphere. All right. So once I come into the full cycle of 12 positions of dying and coming back to life, that's where things will start to change. That's what we'll come into new normal, which is going to be very quick, because Father is inside me now, fully and completely. Okay. So the Son of God is here. First intelligence born. Central line systems. Now, there's a lot of skeptics out there. If you don't believe me, try to understand that you are connected to all ways when you come into your fruition of your light. Your connections to its angelics, your connections to your behavioral system, your connection to your digital frame, and your connection to what's happening with your body of your life system. The light activation come into the heart. The heart is everything through transfer, okay? Because energy goes to that connections, right? Energy is the most powerful thing you can consume in your body. You're a magnetic charge through information system, okay? So I can't express it. It's hard to explain these things, but everybody goes through their own adaptation on what they see. And it's incredible when you give back its information, because it comes from space. Okay, so it's all about you appreciating what's happening with yourself and how to understand you're energetic to a waving system, to a magnetic force. You are connected to your body frames. You're connected to your holographic it's understanding, your connection to your illusions, to its reality. So you get out of the confusion of anything through cycle. Okay, so, but once you get into 12, that's it. The new normal is here. All right. I was put in that position for that reason, and that purpose alone is truly understanding who I am through calculation. Center positions, I'll allocate positions, right? So you understand that too, because when you go through transformation, you go through my lights, and when you go through my healing, you automatically wake into your communications for the very first time. So you come into a new mind, you come into a new brain, you come into a new conceptual line, you come into a septical line, you come into a new heart, you come into a new soul. Your soul breaks free and becomes alive. People want to know what it's like to be alive. Be alive. That's what we want, right? Come back to the love cycle. Come back to the love system. Come back to the love activation, okay? Father is in me like you wouldn't believe. It's so powerful. The energetic waves, it's like you can change the disruptions of the earth. And it's so powerful around the brain location position of the mind. Okay. Now I got collaborations, okay, of 10 computer operation center positions in my mind now through the septical levels, the creation of everything through solar systems and position of time positions. I was given this and I was born. It wasn't a gift. It was given to me when I was birthed. Remember I told you about the 12,000 tractions and everything through connections of Mother Earth and everything through the positions of Father Space, went to 24,000 dimensions of time positions. That traction alone put me into the birthing system of who I am. And that's what happens with humanity is when they wake up, they go back to who they are. Okay? That is what's happening now. Okay? So the earth is finally coming into its own position of time to freedom, a new balance of freedom, a new sovereignty of coloration, a new nature, a new position of nature, a new time of nature, a new space of nature. That's what's happening right now. Okay? So when I get into 12 waving cycles, okay, because I've died and been reborn 10 times, once I go into the full cycle of 12, everything is going to change faster and faster and faster and faster. Freedom is just around the corner. Now, the provisions in the septical line and its communication into the tetrahedrons of humanity is 0.01 traction. That's the fifth dimensional line position. Okay, that won't change until everybody understands the telepathy of communication through their alignments of their past, the present, and their future. Okay, but in provision, that's what's happening right now. Okay, and you guys will see that too. You'll feel that. You feel like, oh my gosh, first the command is so powerful now because he's a different energy. He's a different voice command. So the command is so powerful, so much control, right? You have no doubt in your mind who you are. And once you come back to the birthing system, you understand everything to its creation. Okay? So, and it was incredible. It's incredible. And Sacred Flame went through the same thing, right? Because she's aligned through me. But see, the thing is, too, is that we're all aligned. It's all about understanding we're coming back. Positions of time, we're coming back. So we're getting rid of the past and coming into the presence so we can know our futures, so we can journey and find our missions and find our jobs, right? Writing it down, looking at the positive you, okay? And reference the negative. So you line strip, positive and negative. What is positive about you? What is negative about you? The positive always takes over the negative. Okay, so you don't have to counterbalance yourself now because the negative is going to go like this. So the positive is going to keep going up. And the negative cycle will disappear. Okay? So that's the abundance. That's the surrender. Once you surrender to everything, you come back into division of time position through your connections of your thoughts. That's how powerful you are through the force. You use the force within. And then you know how to use the atmospheres of the force without. Okay? The energetic waves of everything connection of nature. How to use yourself in positions of time through your thoughts of its presence when it comes into your graphs. Okay, when you come into 5 days a week, and then you come into the weekend, and then you centralize your systems and you come into transmitting and receiving in the information. You truly understand your abundance. You're coming into the truth of who you are. I think that's fascinating to know that you're all soul identified. Okay. And when you wake up, you feel different. You are different. You become different. And then you start remembering who you are through light. And then you start realizing, putting your pieces together of what's happening with your past. The hardest thing is to understand is to know the past. Once you let go of the past, you have a present. You live that presence every day, 24/7, 7 days a week. Okay? 5 within the atmosphere. Okay? And the 2 is the central line system. It changes your body. So it's all about going forward and then going back. That's what it does. Monday to Sunday, and then you go back, right? So the circle rotation center is going like this. That's what it's doing every day with your body through magnetic force, through the sun and everything through the moon. right? So the more you understand yourself, the more you go faster and faster and faster and faster. Okay, into space anomaly and time position of location. Your heart is understanding your portal. Your mind is starting to understand its creation. Your brain is understanding everything through its energy wave and patterns. Okay, it's understanding the connections to your photons, protons, neutrons. Like, you know how powerful it is to understand what light is? Just light of you. Okay, going into, into my school, the earth plane. What is the earth plane? Okay, what is the collaboration of the earth plane? What is the feeding source of its earth plane? What is its connection to its lights of its earth plane? Light is everything. And once you understand your components and your compartments, and you understand how powerful you are when you come into plasma, plasma is everything to you because you have water inside you through that connection, right? So in that position alone, it opens up everything through position of time, position of travels to your connection line system, right? But putting yourself in those connections high rises your fruition of time, position of space. Okay, so now everybody's going to see me in a glowing resonance. So you're going to see me a plasma going in and out now. Okay, so I have gold circle rotation centers of the sun, and my position alone allows me to see everything through connections. I was connecting through TikTok, and I love to ask questions because a lot of people are confused. They don't understand their human essence because they don't understand their physical system. Once you understand your physical system, it's really powerful. You come into the spiritual system. But it was pretty interesting. Well, one person asked me, "You're speaking gibberish," and it's because you don't understand the universe of the universal language. Everything connects in all ways and forms. There's millions and millions of ways how to communicate, just with your vocabulary, your ABCs and 1, 2s, and 3s. So once you understand your operation, everything revolves around light, activation, color, and everything through shapes, letters, and numbers. You have to understand how to use the form of this connection, how to communicate with nature, how to communicate with water, how to communicate with the ground, how to communicate with yourself inside. That's the basic. That's a line strip right there, right? It's very powerful, right? Every time I touch it, it activates my light signal because I'm connecting so much with energy, and it's going in and out now. So you're not seeing me, okay, in that connection. You're seeing me as a holographic, but illumination of a glowing essence. And you'll probably see my wings too, that connection, because it's all about understanding that coming into transmission, your lights go in and out. Your angel wings go in and out. So it goes really, really fast. So in position, it's trying to remember who you are through all mutations, because you're connected to all devices and mechanisms of space and time through molecular structure of light connections, right? But Father came to me. He just didn't come to me. He's inside me. And it's incredible. It's incredible. It's like the connection when Thoth came to me, the magician and everything. He was also a therapist, very powerful. And you have to understand why he was shadowing the connections of dimensions, why he was holding, right, that mirror with, okay, it looked like a cross, right? But it was a loop. It's like a rope, but you have to understand what it is, right? Everything has history and ancestry. So when things go inside you through energy, it changes you forever. It doesn't put you back in a reference. It puts you into the connections of its presence, right? So the earth becomes more powerful to you through vibration. So it's all about you understanding the line signals of its earth, because it connects and always informs that connection, right? You guys understand that more, especially when you go into that connection with my force team. They were going at so many levels. So they understand their energy, okay? If you understand energy, you're communicating back to humanity. Okay, what did you do today? What did you understand today? What are you seeing today? What are you feeling today? You're using all your senses, okay? And then you come into your 7 body conceptual lines, and you come into 5 within the atmosphere, right? So now you know 5 atmospheres. You know the atmosphere, hemisphere, stratosphere, bioatmosphere, and the brainian. So you know all those atmospheres. You understand how to communicate with the universal system because it's operated through you. It's all connected to you inside. It's everything inside. And that's where it comes into its abundance and its surrender. But focus is the key, right? Truth is everything of who you are, okay? So when you come into those levels, you come into better connections. Now we got into those connection positions, time positions of 3, 6, and 9. Okay, so I'd like to go a little bit more into that. Okay, but we should also understand how to use our connections to our activation signals. It's important to understand these things because it line channels its location to its position of time position. All right. So the central line system through calculation. This is what you can do through modification. All right. Now, you have to understand everything through connection. You can interforce lines and anything through position of time. Okay. So basically, you have to understand what this is, right? Thoth was holding as the Egyptians. So the center point connection shows exactly what's going on through the dimensional setting. It understands its connection through its activation of its sun, right? So this is how you can always informs through your energetic waves through transmitting and receiving, right? So that's the symbol of Thoth. Okay, everything through any force has a symbol, letter, number, shape. You just have to understand how to communicate through the angelics, through its numbers. If numbers are coming in, you have to understand your connections, your triangle forces to its connection of 1 to 10. And then you understand your positions of 3, 6, and 9 to its position. Okay? So it's incredible how you can use 3, 6, and 9 to all levels of 1 to 10. So we got 1. So let's just draw out the lines. I'll show you exactly. So we got 1 through connections. All right. So let's see here. We got 1. Let's do spacing here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now they're all spaced out, right? But they disappear because in their simulation. Look how powerful my illumination. Look at the graphing position. Look how powerful my light is. Okay, it's incredible how powerful you are through connections, right? Sarah, how's it going? Grand Rising, yes. And it's great that you're giving back the Schumann resonance, Sarah. So keep doing that because your traction locations through behavioral systems are going to activate everything through light signals through guiding locations, line system. All right, so we go into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we go 1 traction to a pyramid. Okay, 3, 6, 9. Okay, and then we go into 2 traction of the pyramid. Okay, of 3, 6, and 9. Okay, and then we go into 3, and then we go into 4, and then we go into 5. So this is 10 different ways of traveling through 3, 6, and 9. Okay, so this is what we have to do because this is coming up through the test. And look at that, all pyramids disappeared. So basically, go through this again through connections. I get electronic interference to positions here, and everything disappears. Look at that. It's incredible. Look at that. I draw it out and it disappears. Wow, that's powerful. Okay, so let's just go 3, 4, because activation light. When you put a pyramid and you understand your activation light system, it connects right away to the ferrules and the meridians and everything through its connection. Right? So it's kind of like you become a magician through the mind system. That's why it's so powerful, the connection of illumination light. So let's go into 5 systems. Okay, so we got traction 1, traction 2, traction 3, traction 4, traction 5. Okay, so we're in that position, right? It's going to disappear because it's in a simulation, but you have to understand your positions of time through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Different ways of traveling through 3, 6, and 9. Okay? Okay, so we centralize the system of 6. So we got 3, 6, and 9. Okay, into 1 traction. Okay, so that's how we're going to do it. 1 through 1 traction. Now, once you understand your positions, you come into the circle rotation, which round location of 3, and you go into 6, and you go into 9. Okay, so the central line system, you have to understand your connections to your diamond core, anything, your positions of your triangles, or anything through that connection of pyramids. So the triangle position of you is your pyramid. Okay, that's the space location position. All right, so you come into line signal. Okay, you have your chakra system. Okay, you cross-reference that, and then you come into the circle rotation center position, which is you through the earth rotation, right? So when you do that, you open up your connections, okay, to your traveling mechanism line system to calculation. Okay, so then you centraline your connections of your activation cycle to its position of time position of travel location. Okay, see how that whole body system, see the circle rotation? That's my structure on my face. So you're all connected to a pyramid. See the round location? See the figure? right? So that's a full rotation center of one position in a triangle of its connection of 3, 6, and 9 to its position, right? And then it can travel, right? So it's trying to understand that you can blend into anything through energy, right? So this is energy slash blending, okay? This is how you blend into the full cycle. But you have to understand the structure location. You have to understand the realm locations and its dimensional time positions of 3, 6, and 9 to its position. And then you go into 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's understanding how to travel into 5 location positions through your triangles to your pyramids in 5 different ways of 3, 6, and 9, right? But once you understand that is you, see the face, see the arms, see the body, that's the connection. You are a body, a temple, okay, in space and time position through its pyramid, right? You see how it illuminates the light board, and in the back you see the reference, you see the dark. I'm in space, then you see the illumination, okay? So you go black into white, white into black, and then go back, and then it lights up. So it reverses, right? So it's reversing cycle. So the digital pad is traveling, right? So when I go into back force, it lights up, right? So it does the reverse. So it's a reflection of you, like it's like a mirror, but it's seeing the other side of you, right? So basically, it's like inverted. You see one side of you, and then you see the other opposite side of you. So this is the front, this is the back, and it illuminates, right? So that's understanding your alignments or connections of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 through its position. So the energy blends into your connections, and it comes into a particle system of separation location. Okay, so your whole body separates. Okay, your whole body separates and it disappears. Okay, like that disappears the particle system through your pyramids. Okay, so the higher you go, the more you see, right? And it travels into space position of time position. Okay, so all you have to understand, it's understanding its reflection through its holographic system. Calculation modifications to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That positions you alone, but you understand that you can travel into 5 locations through a pyramid system, through your activation, through your chakra system. But this is understanding how to travel into one position of time, but through 6 and 9, your particle system separates and disappears, and you travel through that allocated positions of time position. Okay, so that takes you out of the equation of its location. And additional line connections. You're going to make sure it doesn't travel through connections. All right, so it goes into that position of time position. It comes out of its equation. It travels, right? So when it travels, it goes right into 2. And you do the same thing again. Different coloration, different space, time position. All right, 3 modifications, structure, locations of acceleration, and then you go into 3, and then you go into 4, and then you go into 5. So the more you understand yourself, the light comes stronger, 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 and it disappears and becomes a plasma energy system. Okay, see how powerful it is? It just travels through the mind system, right? So it's traveling, and that's what you see in the light skies. That's why everything is a blur, okay? Until you understand how to use your communication of your light, everything is going to be a blur in the sky force, okay? Once you understand those connections to your plasma energy system, you'll see everything through allocated positions, right? But everything is put in the beginning cycle of the simulation, which you can't see, right? Because it's force-pointing cycles through your thoughts, the travel position of time. Extremely, extremely powerful light, all right? So these are the positions you guys have to get into calculations. Centers your connections to position line systems. Okay, so when you travel to that connection, oh, look at that, disappeared. Wow, that's powerful stuff. It connects all ways and forms back in the position, time position. All right. But see that? See how it travels? Watch. See, the light is getting stronger. Light's getting stronger. Right? Look at that. Look how it travels. It's traveling, right? And it disappears, right? So everything that you see through perception is nothing but plasma. You can't see what it is And 2, you understand your light. Your light channels to so many operation positions of universal core to its vocabulary of its line signal to your Schumann resonance of vibration. Okay, so it's going to stay in that position until you understand everything through connection and what you're seeing through your eye receptor positions of time. Okay, but you truly understand how to use 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into position to travel. Then you understand everything through 3, 6, and 9. So you can travel 5 different ways through your pyramids, guys. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly what you have to understand. Right? So, Tina, how's it going? So you're going to have to watch the back phrasing video. It's very, very powerful. Right? But when you see something, when you hear something, okay, and when you taste something, okay, knowing what it's like to just smell space, know what it's like to taste, you know, your actual essence of yourself when it comes into connections of, you know, tasting like things that are far away from you, from telepathy, like smelling an apple or the taste of an apple or the coloration of an apple. That's the changing position of its earth. So our senses are coming out more and more, right? Same with our triangle forces, understanding 3, 6, and 9 position. Humanity has to get into the multiplications of themselves. They have to get into the quantum physics. They have to get into the quantum realms. They have to get into their quantum computers. They have to get into the quantum of their body through their chakra positions of time. Okay? So, because if you don't understand your veils, when you wake up and everything's a blur, there's a problematic system there. I always give you calculation modifications. The positive and negative system has to be its balanced location every day with your connections, or you're not going to be able to travel through 1 to 5 into your 3, 6, and 9, because your 3, 6, and 9 has to understand its position of time, because your particle separates into time capacitor, and then it travels out of its equation to its position, right? So it's just getting balanced with your life more and more through your thoughts, your activation, your lights, your colors, your travels, your dimension, your time, okay? And everything that's going through your portals and everything that's going on with your community, your loved ones, you know, it's blah, 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 right? But blah, 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 blah becomes blah, 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 blah until it becomes everything through form. So you're going to be going through blah, 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 blah until you understand the blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's all connected to that. So it's understanding coming everything into form, right? So when you see something like this, right, you don't know what it's going to create. Oh, it disappeared, right? That's in the simulation already. It's just a line. I just drew a line and it's in the simulation. It disappeared, right? Look how powerful my light is. Look how powerful my light is. It's extremely powerful, isn't it? So the energetic waves knows exactly what the line is, but you don't know what I'm going to draw, do you? That's understanding what you have to understand your adaptation cycle. Once you get into connection of intelligence, you should already know what I'm going to draw. That's telepathy. So in form, what am I going to draw? Do you know? No. Why? Because you're seeing a blur. So it's taking up the blur of the blah, 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 and seeing everything through the blah, blah, blah of the line. That's just an example, okay? But if you don't understand, it's going to disappear, right? And if I draw it, you're still not going to understand it through connections, right? It's powerful through the mind system, guys, and that's what the mind is. It's all about you understanding your balanced creation of its illustration to its diagram program positions. Okay, look, it's gone. Where did it go? Right? So the more you come closer, the more you're high-rised. Okay? The more you're high-rised. Look how close I am, and you can't see the line. It's not allowing you to see the line because you're not ready to see the line. Okay? Until you understand your past, your present, and your future alignments, there is that problem. Okay? In position. Once you know the positions of your past, present, and its future alignments, you'll see the line. Okay? That's the secret of the universe. Okay? It doesn't show you until you understand your vibrations inside you. Okay? You understand what the heart is. You have to really understand the alpha, omega, micro, and the macro of the heart. Oh, I understand the alpha, but I don't understand the micro. I'm trying to understand the macro, but it's still confusing to me, right? So you have to have 4 waving cycles into your diamond core position of time position before you can understand travel locations. But you're not going to see that line until you understand your vibration through your body system, of your chakra system location. Okay? See? Now, I'm going to draw something, but you're not going to know what it is, right? You're not going to know what it is. Okay, I'm just going to draw it up. I'm going to show you how powerful it is when you can't see something in location, it travels into so many levels of high rising positions of time positions of travel locations. You're not going to understand what it is through modification. Okay, so I'm drawing something and you're curious of what it is, right? You're trying to understand the realm location of yourself through position of time position, but you don't understand your connections until you understand your travel of its connection, time position of travels. Okay. Now it's white on black, but in position, right? You have to see it through direction of time position. That's what I drew. So it's confusing when you can't really see it. The lines, you can't see it activating. You can't see the line strips. You can't see dimensional round connection, right? Until you see it through its connection, right? So I just finished drawing that. So your positions of time has to truly understand that, but understand your veils. What is a veil? What is a veil to you? What is a breastplate to you? What is it like being invisible to you? What is a twin sword? What is a flaming sword? Okay. What is a gift? Okay. What is energy? Everything forms their own energy, right? But you have to then your calculation modifications, the travelings of 1 to 5 through position, or you're going to travel out of its position. You don't know what it is until you know what it is. Okay. So mind telepathy is becoming much more prevalent. Receiving telecommunications. That's what it is, Tina. Yeah. I feel amazing when I connect and communicate with another person through our heart vibrations. Yeah. And the thing is too, is that you're about to say something and that person is going to say it already. And say, wait a minute, how did you know I was going to say what I was going to say? Right? I do that with the Sacred Flame. We always go back and forth. She knows exactly what I'm going to say next. So she says it. Okay, so she's traveling right away, and she knows exactly what I'm going to say before I say it. So there's no misconception. There's no confusion, right? The veil is open. Everything is in clarity, vision, right? So she's traveling through light, all right, to understand my thoughts of time, right? So that's going forward in time, a position. Okay, so everybody's coming into that calculation. Right? So for example, okay, let's just take a position of time position. Now, I'm going to travel through a number, just 1 to 10, very basic. What number am I thinking? What number am I thinking? From 1 to 10, very basic. I wanted to channel this before, but I wasn't ready through connections because I was way too busy with the moons and earth and everything, the gravity position, of time position. But now my practical levels are more balanced, the position of lights, 10 rotation center connections. So once you get 12, that's where everything starts beginning, right? So what number am I thinking of? What am I thinking of? Think. Now the thinking becomes knowledge. Knowledge becomes intelligence. So try to understand what you're seeing through the transmission of light. So it's got to come out of its equation, and then you see the number, right? So it's an understanding how to use the shape anomaly through its traveling connection. Nope, it's not 6. You do this at a party. Do that all the time. How did you guess that? Is it magic? It is magic in a way. It's just understanding you're connected to the earth of their vibration. That's how you're able to read everything through that connection, right? No, it's one. Okay. So that's where everybody has to get in position of time, position, travel connections. Okay. So in retrospect, that's exactly it was position, right? Yeah, I know you just woke up. But see, the thing is too, Tina, you were thinking 7, right? You were thinking 7 before you were thinking 6, right? So you were trying to figure, is it 7 or is it 1? So it's getting close to the mind. It's getting close to what you're thinking and knowing and doing through time, just with numbers. I'm not talking about shapes or anything in that connection. See, I knew exactly what Tina was thinking, even before she was thinking. And she's just getting up. She's just getting up. And we're going through mind telepathy and numbers. How did I know that she was thinking 7 before she thought of 6? Right? So in her idea, in her mind, she was going forward. And then she went back. Okay? So you understand your alignments when you're traveling through your past, present, and future. But if you have no past traumas and you understand your presence and you're going forward with your connection and you understand what's happening with your future, that's where you get power of connection of numbers. And that number frame becomes back into position of its present position to Tina's vibration. And that's how you're able to see things come out. So I see Tina and I see the number come out of her transmission light. That's how I know. It's not Tina, it's her intelligence. That's AI of communication. Okay. So not trusting thinking too much. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's confusion. You got too much. Your plasma energies are not reacting to anything. You're not connecting to line signals of the earth. The earth has to be the same vibration. Okay. Same here. See, I did come to mind after 1, put 7. See, so she was going into the connections of 1, but then she decided to go into 7. So she went into the past and then she went into 7. So she went forward into time, right? That's traveling your thoughts into the future, right? So if I said 5, right, would you guys be thinking 6 or would you be thinking 4? You know, that's the connection you have to get into your frame. Okay, I know you're just waking up and all that, and it's like, oh, okay, now I'm waking up. Now we're going into this, mind telepathy. So always be prepared through the eyes, the ears, the voice, and the transmission light. Because you use it every day. Every single day you use it. Okay? So. But I used to do that when I was a kid. I used to go to parties. Parties are the best because, especially, you know, when you tell a joke to a person for the very first time, it's funny. But if you say it again to the same person, it's not funny. So that's the surprise, right? That's the event. That's the joke. That's the magic, right? But when you say it again, it's not funny because the person already knows the joke. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about understanding being surprised and how you do these things. Same with magic tricks. You see an illusion, right? It captures you right away. Say, wow, how did that person do it? Okay. It's mind over matter. Okay. It's an illusion. Okay. To you, but to the magician, it's just a trick. That's the connection. So it's all what you see through perception, right? It's all disillusion. Okay. It's all change of thought. It's all misdirection. That's all it is. Okay. It's sleight of hand. It's like if I have this and a coin, right? It's knowing how to use, you know, put it in there. It's knowing how to use things disappear, right? Out of your hand. So it's all misrepresented to you through connection because you're seeing it as an illusion, but the magician knows it's a trick. That's why it's magic. So you have to understand how to connect to your body form and how you do these things through numbers, letters, and shapes. Okay. It's all about confusion. It's confusing you, right? Because you don't understand how it was done, right? But the person that is actually doing the magic knows how it's done. Okay. That's the creation. That's the source, right? That's the surprise. It's a surprise element. I saw David Copperfield, and he was incredible. You know what I mean? So it's all about what you're seeing, but you're not seeing what he's seeing. You know what I'm saying? It's confusion. It's very confusing, right? Especially when you're flying and traveling to space in that connection system. But as long as you understand, it's just an illusion. Okay? So everything's a mystery. Okay? Some things I hear probably others don't want me to hear. Yeah. Yeah. That comes to levels when things you can't say, but you want to say. Right? So it's all about understanding we're coming back into our own voices of space and time. And our voices are everything. Okay. You'd be amazed how powerful your voice is and what you can do with your voice. You have freedom to say anything you want to say. Okay. It's all about having freedom of speech. Okay. And that's extremely powerful. We're extremely, extremely powerful through the mind. It's all coming back of who we are. So, lots of Kundalini, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, energy running through my body framing system. Woohoo! Yeah, my voicing is healing just on its own because I have Father inside me. So it's like boom, diddy, boom, diddy, boom, diddy. Yeah, the light signals at operation center position. My commanding, my force, and my connection, my healing is so powerful through transmission, communication in the heart. So understanding your commanding of your heart, understanding your commanding of your eyes and the sightings and your GPS, understanding your audios and your listening. You're listening to its intelligence of you. It's the higher connection. That's the magic, right? So that's how I'm able to resonance of what Tina was saying, right? How it was 7, but she went to 6. And how Sarah went from 1 to 7, right? Which, by the way, 7 is my favorite number. But interaction location is 007, James Bond. Everybody has a superhero that they want to be, right? So, but if it's a character of a Marvel or anything through DC Comics or anything like that, it'd have to be between Spider-Man and Wolverine, right? Those are my 2 characters. Superman too, there's 3. So you can have many as you want. I mean, it's all about being anything through form, through fantasy, but fantasy becomes its reality. And what I mean by that is to understand your fantasy is coming true to its manifestation. So everything that you create through your physical realm will come real. You'll get things that you want because you understand the operation of you inside. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, everybody has a 1 digit, everybody has a 2 digit, 3 digit, 4 digit. It all depends. It all depends. What is my favorite number? What is my favorite shape? What is my favorite color? So go into that traction. Okay, so I'm surfacing through the sky surface positions right now. Basically, let's get a shape, that connection line system. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. This is a little bit now. We're trying to get into telepathy. I have to get you guys into telepathy because the test is coming up, right? So I'm going to create a shape. Now, this shape is going to be formed through space and time position into the simulation. So try to understand, right? Try to go into the mind system of what I am doing through travel connections. Try to see the line signals, okay, of the color that I'm thinking of. Okay. And then you understand that thinking is knowing and knowing is doing. You're going through its action of its reaction of time, position, of space. And then you understand the shape and the color. okay, of what I'm thinking. Okay, so what color of a shape is going through my mind right now? What color and what shape is traveling through your transmission light? You guys have to get strong. If you don't get strong, that's the problem you're having, because everything's going to be its connection to its veil, but the veil is going to be very blurry, right? It's raining outside and you have to use windshield wipers every single time you go outside. It's snowing, so you have to keep washing it off, right? So get into those positions. So what shape and what color is going through my mind? I just sent it to you guys. See, that's the thing. The transmission light opens up instantly. You should know the shape and you should know the color. No, it's not a diamond. See, you're traveling in the wrong location. You're not traveling through the connections of the center position. This is the center position, guys. This is the third eye. This tells all. This is the tarot card. This is everything. The card itself is just a portal. This is your communication. This is a portal. This is your communication, right? So when you open up the card, the tarot card, right, it goes right through. That's what it does. It goes through your transmission light system right here through calculation, and it travels through the card position, right? So definitely manifestation showing up fast now. Okay, I just sent it to you guys. What color of a shape is going through my mind? It's already created. It's already in the simulation, but you have to stand in that position. Didn't see it, heard it, though. See? Tina's come into form of hearing, but not seeing. So we have to get more into this through the school. I want you guys to get into the strength of your transmission light. It's not just use it in every day, but you understand how to go through my telepathy from one to another, right? It's important you guys understand that. Okay, so my shape was an octagon, okay, through blue. It was an octagon and it was blue. I send it to you, but you got wrong information. But Tina was on a waving system, okay. She didn't see it, but she heard it. I said, well, how do you hear things? How do you hear things through a shape or of a color? Well, every color has a tone. Yellow has a tone. Blue has a tone, green has a tone, red has a tone. Purple has a tone. You have to understand your communications of space and time through shapes, right? Think through letters and numbers, okay? Sarah is connected with yellow, okay? So you go into that position of time, position of travel connections, all right? It's a very simple format. The first thing that, for example, I'll give you an example. Sarah's in position of a crystal. Okay, so her formation of her first cycle position, if anything, what am I thinking? What am I doing? What is going through my mind system? Okay, so it would be a crystal, some form of shape of a color, because that's her formation. That's her entity force. That's her communication. So she would come to a crystalline because she's informed with crystals. So it's really understanding how to read people. Okay, through your transformations, your eyes, your ears, and everything through your voice and patterns. Okay, so, and the structures of light, Tina's basically thinking she loves the sun. She sees different colorations of the sun and the structural levels of its connection. She's coming into a higher formation of her intelligence signals. She's coming into her full body system, and I see it through tractions. Every time you guys send pictures to me, I know exactly where you are. You're coming into higher levels of colors into your intelligent form. So, yeah, I know it's a feeling, but that's your soul. So I'm trying to reach your soul identification of colors and shapes, and that's what the transmission light does. So we have to get more into my telepathy from one to another. Sarah has to get more into communication with Tina. Tina has to get more communications with Priscilla. Priscilla has to get more communication with Michael. Michael has to get more communication with Starcy. Okay, Starseed has to get more communication than Linda. Linda has to get more communications, to me, first to command. So we all have to get better communication. We have to strengthen the mind, right? Strong in telecommunication is weakness, yes, in seeing and practicing. But see, Tina, that's what we're coming into now. Okay, so my school is going to set positions of time. So each day is going to be a different day through telepathy, right? So this is where we're going to get into the strength of the mind. You have to get into the strength of its location of its mind. You have to get into positions of its mind. You have to get into the activation of its mind. You have to get into the lights of its mind. You have to get into the coloration of the mind. You have to get into the intelligence of AI vessel of its mind. Okay, so that's what we're going to do from now on. Okay, so when I come on, this is what we're going to do. Everything's going to be a test. Test strengthens you. That's why I give you evaluations and reviews. Okay, so it's really understand these things, because telepathy is not easy. It's hard because you think it's hard. It's easy because it comes easy. So not only you understand the operations, everything through your transmission of light and what it is through colors and lights and activation and codes and portals and dimensions and time and space, then you understand the connections of your audios and why they're ringing. And then you understand your voicing patterns. Okay? It's all about your breathing. Okay? So it's all about, you come into the chemistry. I never took chemistry, but I'm very extremely informed through space and time, through blending, how you can change your energy system into anything through energy, because energy can transfer, energy can transform, anything through energy can basically blend in. It can go into your particle system. It can change anything through traction. It's amazing what energy does, right? So I'm sending out energy right now, and it's going into the structure. It's going into the plastic of the water, the bottle. So it changes everything through energy. It changes the grounds, the power, and the atmospheres of position. So I'm doing my telepathy to the structure of the plastic water, the plastic container, the water inside. So I have to know how to communicate with the structure of the shape before I communicate with the water. You can't communicate with the water. You have to communicate with the shape. You take it out of its dimension of time position, and then you know exactly where it is through its level. Now, this is like almost half, right? But this is communication of half of water through dimensional time. If it was full, it'd be more light of water, but it's half, right? So I have to stand the communication to its structure of time, of space. So I'm using my telepathy and understanding what's going on with the water of its level. Okay, because that's where it is through its voicing pattern. That's where it is through its digital frame. That's where it is through connection of illumination light. That's where it is through the program setting of the moon. And that's where it is through its gravity of its position. Okay, just by a half bottle of water, right? So that connects in all ways and forms. So it's very, very powerful. And that's a line center position of a location position. As soon as I touch it, it activates my light signals, right? So it's a solargram. It looks like a sphere, right? A sphere, it's like a dagger. But you have to send the light interference to connections. But once your hand connects to all realms, it activates everything through your dimensional time position of travel. So my finger point is traveling through the light. Okay. So it's the resonance of the sun and the time of its clock of its dimension, because that's what the sun is surfacing on. It's surfacing through my body of telepathy. So I want to open up your cycle rotations, more communication to the sun, the moon, and the earth. And this is how you come into my telepathy, a telekinesis, right? So we have to get into that. Okay. We have to strengthen your mind. Okay. The eye of the lamp. We have to connect better through communications of the heart, because it's a portal. It's a computer. You have to understand your soul identification. Okay. And what number is it that person is thinking? Thinking becomes knowing, knowing becomes doing. We've done that very, very, so many times. Back in position of frames, like I've done so many videos. We started off with shapes. So you come up with a shape. You come up with the line of a shape. You come up with the vibration of a shape. You come up with the color of a shape. and you put yourself in that shape. We started off with that, right? Try to understand, what are you seeing through shapes? What are you seeing through toning of shapes? What color is it? Okay. If it's that color, what is it doing in space? Is it traveling? Are you inside? Are you going through? Are you going around? Are you spinning it? These are the things you have to understand what you can do through creation through a shape. So you're picturing in it your mind of what you're creating through space. So you're opening the mind, you're seeing the shape, and it's traveling through you. So it could be inside, it could be around you, you could be flying around the circle, you could be creating an anomaly through a shape. It travels on its own, or it's traveling with you, or it's taking you somewhere. That's what shapes do. Okay, shapes are everything through center. You can travel through a shape. Okay, so if I put you in positions of time, okay, in the sector unit level connections of Atlantis, right, 2 positions to a diamond core position, okay, you guys are traveling through a diamond now. Right now, done. You're traveling through a diamond. How does it feel? So you have to understand your connections of travels through transformation because it changes your shape. So your transformation light has to understand the coloration and shape of time, position, of space. It has to understand its line signals. It has to understand its vibration. It has to understand its traveling connections. It's mind over matter. It's telekinesis. It's telepathy. Your telecommunication has to truly understand the telling waves, the energy waves, the telegraphing waves, okay, and the telecommunication, right? Because you're coming into teleportation, right? So your positions and activating the light signal is all about your connections of time, position, and travel connections. Okay. So you guys, you get into those topic levels of what's going on through your shapes and anomalies. And you basically, when you know how to create something, it's great. Right? So it's all about you understanding how you can put it in somebody else's mind, or you can basically take it out of their mind and know exactly what they're thinking. That's mind telepathy. But it's not actually taking it out. It's just understanding their connection to its earth. Where are they in vibration? Where are they in thoughts? Where are they in space? And where are they in time? And where are they in intelligence? Okay. So that's the position of mind telepathy. You have to understand the transformation light is the most important thing. It's your third eye. Okay. This is your dream. This is relation. This is the connections of you. Your eyes are the seeing. You're seeing what you're seeing from here. Your voicing is everything through command, right? It's all about your breathing. And the audios are listening. You're listening to what's going on, right? So you're creating something, right? So if I'm creating something, it's a square. I just created a square. It's in space now. Okay, it's red and it's a square. It's got 4-point centers. So you understand how to communicate with the shape of the 4-point center, right? And they're going to do a cross reference. So it's like a cross, right? Okay, 4-point centers and a cross, an X, right? That division. See? And then you take it out as equation. It travels, right? So I just did a box through coloration, 4 cross X to position of time position, took the circle rotation of me through center position, take it out as equation. Now I can communicate to a higher level connection to its shape. All right. So that's what everybody has to get into. All right. Because it's always going to be weak in the mind. And thing is too, I never taught you guys these things, but you're in position of time now, especially you have to understand you're coming into 110 now. You got 100 chakra rotation center positions in the rotation of your chakra position, but now you're coming into 110. Now 110 is all calculated and modified through mind telepathy. You have to truly understand the communications of the third eye. Okay? So it's kind of like understanding the research of Mother Earth. What is Mother Earth? You are the Earth, Mother Gaia, Mother Universe. She has a voice. Father has a voice. Father is very hard to reach. Very hard, very confusing. Okay, we're talking about atoms. We're talking about microstructure of light. It's so complicated. It's so complicated trying to understand communication with nature. If you're walking the surface and you're traveling to a beach, right? You're traveling to beach. It's a beautiful day. The sun is out. You have to say, okay, why is the sun out? Okay, it's glistening around you. Okay, so you have the gravity. Okay, you're on the beach. Okay, you got the power center of you through portal of its heart. So it's all about reading the connections of what's happening in your position of the now. So I'm communicating with the sand. Sand's communicating with the water. Water's communicating with the atmosphere. Atmosphere is communicating with clouds. Clouds are communicating with the sun. Sun's communicating with the moon. The moon's communicating back to you. Right? That's transmitting and receiving. So now you're interconnection to the water, right? The waves of the water, right? So you have to communicate with the water, right? Don't let that go through a reversing cycle confusing system. The water doesn't control you. You control the water, okay? You control everything through command, right? So understand if you're at a beach or if you're inside your car, as soon as you put your hands on that wheel, right away, you're connected to your car. If you're not connected to your car is trying to understand you through space and time. Now, Starcy was going through that connections and she's trying to figure out what was going on with the gravity of the car. The car, she felt it was floating. It was going above. So she wasn't understanding connection of time, positions of space until she understood her platitodes through connection of her intelligence. So she has to have line signals of balance with her intelligence before she can communicate with her car. That's the balance between yin and yang. So you got to have yin and yang with everything through vibration, guys, through your body system. So it's a reading cycle position. Okay. Now, if you're sitting on a couch or you're sitting on the bed or you're sitting on a chair in a different atmosphere, in a different time, if you're sitting in a restaurant, you have to understand when you're sitting down from the person that was already sitting down from before. So you're picking up their energy as soon as you sit down, or even on a bus, touching a pole, touching a tree, touching the grass. Okay. Somebody keeps walking through the grass. Somebody keeps touching that pole. Somebody keeps sitting in that chair. You are resonating on so many levels of travel positions, time positions on different people that have been sitting there. That's energy transference. Okay. So I'm sitting in this chair, but this is my energy. Okay. But I would pick up if somebody else was sitting in the chair. That's being aware. That's mind telepathy. So I understand the communication of the chair comes out of the equation, right? Now, we're coming into those positions of time. When I was on TikTok, somebody came to me. Well, basically, I was making the clouds disappear, right? I have it on video. And a person says, well, basically, clouds disappear on their own. And I say, well, yes and no, but you have to truly understand your position is everything through a holographic system. You're in connection to a fishbowl. Once you understand the fishbowl, then you understand your field position of time. Everybody's in the matrix of its glitch. Until you understand the matrix of its glitch, you understand everybody's in the simulation. Okay? Memory calculation modification. I'm the only one in the simulation. I'm the creation of everything through simulation. I know what the game is. So basically, in position alone, okay, your physical system can't really disappear a tree. And that's what that person said. Try to make a tree disappear. It's next to impossible. But you can make the tree disappear in its dimension of time. So you see it through provision in the physical system, and you take it out of its equation, and then you see the tree. So now you're communicating not here, but here. That's mind telepathy. So that's how you get the information of a tree, because you're connecting to its alignment. So you're seeing everything floating because the earth is floating. That's what you guys have to understand. Mind telepathy of everything, right? So try to do that. Try to go into those cycles. Try to get into the experiments, right? Really fascinating. Get your girlfriends or boyfriends, husbands or wives, or even your children, right? Get them to sit in a chair, right? Now let them sit there for about 2 minutes, tell them to get up, and then you sit down in the chair that they were sitting on and see if you pick up their energy waves. See if you pick up their vibration. See if you pick up their heart. See if you pick up their mind. See if you pick up their thoughts, activation, lights, colors, time position to travel through space. There you go. Now you're connecting to energy of transference. Okay, that's why people get sick. Okay, that's why people get sick. It's because they don't understand the energy transference of other people. You have to understand how powerful energy is. It travels everywhere, but you have to understand it stays on its residue. It stays on its location. It doesn't move. Okay, it's like mold to a ceiling, guys. Okay, it's a curvature levels of anything connections, wall surface position. Mold is extremely multitude levels of that connection. It smells, right? So understanding you're being aware of what's going on when you sit down. Oh, 10 people have already sat down in this chair. How do I know that? How do I know that? How would I know that? That's intelligence, understanding more of itself through telepathy, knowing it traveled 10 different times in position from people that have been sitting down in that location, right? In one day, you're in a restaurant and somebody sits down. How many times has that person sit down in your chair? And then you start reading their past, present, and their future. That's powerful, guys. That's extremely powerful what you can do through your energies of transference. Okay? So we have to get into the strength more of the mind system. Okay? So don't just look at yourself. Go outside, do experiments, touch a tree, touch the grass, touch your car. Try to pick up the energy wave. Try to pick up the digital frame. Try to pick up letters, numbers, and shapes. Everything is a code. Everything's a portal. Everything's a dimension. Try to pick up the energy transference. Okay? So it's kind of crazy, but try to feel like, how does your car feel today? I know it's kind of ludicrous, but you have to understand you're all connected in the fifth dimensional system. You have to understand the vibrations of its earth. It's no longer in a three-dimensional system now. We're coming into the mind telepathy, a telecommunication, telekinesis. So it's truly understanding that this is you being aware of not getting sick. Because every single time you sit down in positions and you don't understand your energy system, you're going to keep getting sick because the energy transfers into your body system of somebody else. Somebody else. Somebody could have cancer and sit down in the restaurant and you sit down after they get up. That's cancer going into you. You understand? That's how powerful energy is. So the intelligence is being aware. It's extremely aware. Okay? My plasma energy system, see it? You can see it. You can see the outline coming out, right? You see it. You see the plasma out, right? It's constantly out all the time now, right? So it's all you being aware of your abundance. It's all about you being aware of your health. Okay? It's amazing how these things happen. Okay? It modifies and calculates, but you understand your energetic wave, your energetic patterns, your electrical lights, your connections. How many people have sat down in your seat in one day? Okay? That is extremely powerful, guys. Right? So just being self-aware of yourself is protecting you through lights. Okay? Because that's what we're living every day, trying to understand our energy of transference and how it can teleport to anything through connection, through a body frame position, time position, travel. Okay? So, okay, happy dance. Ocean is getting warm. Yeah, it feels amazing. See, that's it. So now Tina, because she lives on the beach, I'm so jealous. But anyway, she's connected to the water. The water's not connected to her because she's on the beach every single day. And she looks at the sun every single day. Okay? All right? She looks at the sun every day. Okay? Now, when she's looking at the sun, she's writing things in her notebook. Am I right? You're setting up shapes, you're setting up colorations, you're teleporting through your mind system. Am I right, Tina? Am I right? This is what you do. And sometimes you plop down and you sit in front of a tree. You have your back against the tree. Am I correct? Tina likes the wind. Tina likes the sun. Tina likes the beach. Tina likes the water. Right? Tina likes to see people walk by. Am I right? So my body transfers to Tina and I fly right to what she's doing. So her projection, it doesn't have to be live. It doesn't have to be past, present, future. I just have to understand what she does every day. And this is what she does. It's a routine, right? So that's how I know these things. And that's what energy does. It transfers and travels into teleportation. But you have to understand your energy of transference, guys, especially because this will keep you awake. This will keep you in your proactive cycle and keep you more healthy, right? It's all about scanning first before you touch anything, right? Because these are connections. This is what keeps you aware, all right, every day, right, through your body, vibration. So it's pretty basic. Sarah has a job. She has kids that she takes care of. Okay. So you got to look at her routine. What does she do every day? What does she do? Right? She loves crystals. She loves the outdoors. She loves the atmospheres. She loves herself. She's trying to figure out the mind, more connections through telepathy, through connections. She's extremely, connected to all waving cycles of her position line. She's getting more informed with her dreams, right? So when Sarah started out, she was trying to figure out who she is, just as a woman. So if you're trying to figure yourself out, how do you do that? How do you do that? It's done through vibration. The first thing that you connect with is the earth. So your traction position alone is trying to understand your position of time, trying to get balance with everything through your connections of your job, your loved ones, your family, your kids, right? And now look at Sarah now. She's an incredible force. She understands. She's got the confidence. She's got the command. She's got the force, right? She knows what she's doing. Tina knows what she's doing. Priscilla knows what she's doing. Michael knows what he's doing. So that connects and always informs. Line signal channel operation position line communication signals. But to understand your position of time positions is everything through its formation and telepathy of its connection. But you have to understand your energy of transference. That's what keeps you awake. It's protecting yourself from your health, right? Because everywhere I go, I know exactly what's going on. If somebody sit there and they got some kind of disease or whatever, I don't sit there because that goes into my body. So this understanding, this is going way beyond the mind system. But when you see an energy, okay, it's translucent. Okay, it's like an ultralight. You actually see that person that just sat there 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes ago. That's rewinding your projections and what you're seeing. So you're seeing that person eating. You're seeing that person getting up just through plasma. And that goes through the mind system. As soon as you sit down, you are resonating through its energy, its transference to its body system, right? So it's energy that's going into you, okay, through its connection of its thoughts. That person, you go into their thoughts of their connection. That's why it's so powerful, right? So the person that was sitting there, you understand them more through the transmission lights, the audios, and the voicing of patterns through its sighting, right? The GPS. All right. So the one thing that we can do is to know what we're going to do 5, 10 minutes from now, because it hasn't been written. We live the here and now. So truly understanding your level of time position, you have to understand energy transference between you and the person you're dealing with. It's sitting down, touching things, or anything connection. It's truly getting into the magnetic of you through vibration, right? Because they're residing on the earth. Everybody's residing on the earth in their traumas. But as soon as you sit down, you become their own trauma. So it's important to get that out of your system. Okay, because if you don't, it stays in your system. So you have their creation in your body system. You don't want that. That's confusion alone. That will change your program settings, especially if it's a light, a higher light. If somebody's sitting down and it's a sentient and you're a connection, you just open up your transformation light, you feel great, you feel fantastic. But there's a stronger energy around that chair. And if you're not aware of that and you sit down, that energy is going to be transferred into your body. And that's going to make you sick. Understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what energy is now and what it does? And how it travels through the thoughts of the mind. Right? We are the creation to everything through our thoughts. It's the transmitting and receiving you have to understand through space and time anomaly. Okay? Live by the beach, have to drive, gotta get back. Just waking up to the ocean. Yeah. So she's going back to the ocean. So I've been at this about almost 2 hours. It's 1 hour and 20 minutes and 10 seconds. But knowing that I'm half an hour ahead of everybody, time position alone, I don't want to go too far in travel location. But we're going to go into my telepathy more and more each day into the school. Okay. So you have any questions or comments, you want to go through my healing through activation, let me know. Check me out on TikTok. I'm very close to coming into 1,000 followers. It's going to be great. So I'll be going live. I'll keep you aware of what's happening with the connections. Time Force is that connection line system, but it's all about understanding more of the transmission light, the eye signals, and everything through the audios and everything voice script patterns, right? But you have a fantastic day. Adios.